The sun smiled down on us all day. Which figure of speech is used? Option A. Personification. The sun is given human like qualities, smiling. He is the black sheep in he is the black sheep of the family. Identify the figure of speech. Option B. Metaphor. Direct comparison. He is compared to a black sheep without using like or as. Her voice was as sweet as honey. Option C. Which figure of speech is this? Hy- Option A. Simile. Comparison. The comparison is made using as. The waves kissed the shore gently. What figure of speech is used here? Option C. Personification. The waves are described as performing a human action. Kissing. All the world a stage. Which figure of speech does this line illustrate? Option B. Metaphor. I have told you a million times. Identify the figure of speech. Option A. Hyperbole. An exaggeration is made to emphasize frequency. The silence was defending. What figure of speech is this? Option B. Hyperbole. Exaggeration of silence being so loud. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Identify the figure of speech. Option A. Paradox. Paradox. The statement contradicts itself but conveys a deeper truth. He is an early bird. Which figure of speech is used here? Option 9A. Metaphor. He is compared to an early bird without using like or as. She sells by the seashore. What figure of speech is used? Option A. Alliteration. Repetition of the S sound in sea cells, seashore. The thunder roared angrily. Identify the figure of speech. Option C. Personification. The thunder is as described with human emotions roaring angrily. He is the king of his castle. Which figure of speech is this? Option 12. A. Metaphor. The comparison is direct king represents dominance without like or as. This is the beginning of the end. What figure of speech is used here? Option B. Paradox. A seemingly contradictory statement that reveals a truth. Time flies when you are having fun. Identify the figure of speech. Option C. Personification. The Time is described as if it has human qualities flying. The news spread like wildfire. Which figure of speech is used? Option A, simile. Like, the spread of news is compared to wildfire using like. The pen is mightier than the sword. Identify the figure of speech. Option A, metonymy. Substitution of related terms. Pen represent writing and sword represent war. The poor man's wealth is his health. Which figure of speech does this line use? Option A, antithesis. Contrasting ideas, poor man and wealth, are presented in a single sentence. Her laughter was a melody. Option B, metaphor. Laughter is directly compared to a melody without like or as. She had a heart of stone. Option C. She had a heart of stone. Option A. Metaphor. Her heart is compared to stone to indicate coldness or lack of empathy. The stars winked at us in the night sky. Which figure of speech is in this? Option B. Personification. The stars are described as performing humans' actions, winking. The Big Bang theory is fascinating. Option A. Onomatopoeia. Term bang mimics the sound it describes. The wind howled in anger. Identify the figure of speech. Option A. Personification. The wind is given human emotions, howling in sorry, anger. You are as brave as a lion. Undoubtedly, simile. The flowers danced in the breeze. Which figure of speech is used? 24C. Personification. His smile was brighter than the sun. Option B. Hyperbole. Exaggeration of the brightness of the smile. She is walking a walking dictionary. Option B. Metaphor. A direct comparison of her to a walking dictionary without like and as. The classroom was a zoo. Option B. Metaphor. The classroom is directly compared to a zoo. His explanation was as clear as mud. Option B. Simile. Option sorry. His explanation was as clear as mud. Is a irony. Option A. Statement conveys the opposite of the intended meaning. Mud isn't clear. Mud is not clear. Option A. The night was calm and quiet. Option B. Imagery. Vivid description of the night appeals to the senses. How was dawned in a sea of grief? Option A. Metaphor. His grief is compared to a sea. Don't cry over spilled milk. Option A. Idiom. The phrase is a common expression with a figurative meaning. Her voice echoed like a melody in the hall. Option A. Simile. The comparison is made using like. He has a heart of gold. Option A. Metaphor. His heart is directly compared to gold, symbolizing kindness or value. Life is a roller coaster of emotion. Option A. Metaphor. Life is directly compared to a roller coaster. The clock ticked away the hours. Option D. Personification. The clock is described as performing human actions ticking away. The leaves rustles like whispered in the wind. Option A. Simile. The sound of leaves is compared to whispered using light. He jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. Option A. Option D. Idiom. The phrase is a common expression with a figurative meaning implying moving from a bad situation to a worse one. This suitcase weighs a ton. Option A. Hyperbole. The weight of the suitcase is exaggerated to emphasize how heavy it feels. The crowd erupted in a thunder's applause. Option A. Hyperbole. The applause is exaggerated to sound like thunder. He has the strength of Hercules. Option A. Allusion. Reference to Hercules, a figure known for his great strength, is made to emphasize someone's strength. She is not unlike her mother. Option A. Litotes. An affirmative of expressed by negative its opposite, creating understatement, not unlike. The stars are diamonds in the sky. Option A. Metaphor. Stars are directly compared to diamonds without like or edge. Actions speak louder than words. Option B. Antithesis. Contrasting ideas Actions and words are presented in a balanced way. A washed pot never boils. Option 4, 44. Question. Option A, idiom. A commonly used phrase with a figurative meaning suggesting impatience delays result. The dark night of the soul. What figure of speech is used? Option C, alliteration. Repetition of the initial consonant sound. The in dark night and soul. C is the light of my life. Option A, metaphor. C is directly compared to the light, symbolizing happiness or guidance. C is as cool as cucumber. Option A, simile. The book is a treasure trove of knowledge. Option A, metaphor. The book is directly compared to a treasure trove, symbolizing its immense value. You could cut the tension in the room with a knife. Option A, hyperbole. Exaggeration is used to describe the tension intensity. Her beauty launched 1,000 ships. Option A, allusion. A reference to Helen of Troy and the Trojan War, emphasizing the extent of her beauty. Thanks for watching. I hope you like this video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned for more informative content and make sure to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. See you in the next video. Thanks a lot.